All right. My name is Raymond Drumstott. I am here speaking with Calli Marianetti from the Monroe County District Attorney's Office here in New York. Could you spell your first and last name, please?
Yes, Calli, C-A-L-L-I, Marianetti, M-A-R-I-A-N-E-T-T-I.
Thank you very much for sitting for an interview with me. I do appreciate it. Your job description says that you're a community relations, but it's a public information position. Could you tell me what public information is?
Yes, so especially with law enforcement entities, a public information officer or a PIO is the person responsible for getting the information that goes on in that specific office out to the public. In police departments, usually that person will go on scene, conduct interviews. My position is more setting up interviews with the assistant district attorneys, putting out press releases, and just answering all media inquiries that come into our office.
All right. Well, can you describe a typical workday for you?
Yes, there really is no typical workday. If nothing's going on from the DA's office and the media, which doesn't happen all that often, I might prepare for future events with the district attorney. I also accompany her to her events. I could prepare her remarks and do her writing. So I usually spend a decent amount of time writing. I get a couple of inquiries every day about just court appearances, maybe something dramatic, maybe not. Just reporters will send me 3 to 5 cases, be like, hey, can I get an update in this? And I'll just send that along. I might go to, in non-COVID times, I'll probably go to an event with the DA. We go to 1 to 3 events a week. And yeah, I also coordinate all the interns as well.
You sound pretty busy.
Yes.
All right. So what made you want to work for the district attorney?
So I began my career, I was political science and public policy, and I started in the Monroe County Legislature as a legislative assistant, moved on to work in the communications office for the Monroe County Executive for about 3.5 years. I met the district attorney. I volunteered for her. She got to know me, and when the position opened up, they thought of me, and I went over here.
What do you enjoy about working with the district attorney?
Oh, well, I personally think my job's kind of the coolest job in Monroe County. Not only do I get to see what goes on in the DA's office and let people know, I get to go to court, I get to watch the trials, I get to watch verdicts, I get to do all of that. And District Attorney Sandra Dorley is just a phenomenal elected official. She's a great attorney, and it's just a pleasure to work for her.
So I was going to ask you how much press contact you have compared to how much public contact you have.
Usually it's 50-50. Right now with COVID, with less events, less community workshops, it's probably 90-10. I still answer constituent questions. If people have general questions about cases, I take those phone calls. I monitor our district attorney at monroecounty.gov email address. So whenever someone tries to reach out for a question, I help with that, but it's mostly media these days.
Now, you had said that you're putting out press products, press releases. You're writing for the DA. You're maybe writing speeches or remarks or maybe talking points, correct?
Yes.
How much of that product are you putting out on a weekly basis, do you think? Just give me a ballpark.
It depends on the week. I probably write one set of remarks anywhere from 3 to 20 minutes a week. And then for press releases, I've had any from 1 press release a week to 10 a week, just based on the court schedule. Right now, trials are still slow because of COVID. We've just recently started our jury trials again, so that will pick up here shortly.
All right. So are you able to put any of these things, so to speak, in the box? Are you able to prep ahead and say, well, I anticipate there'll be a verdict. I anticipate there'll be an indictment or something like this. I'm going to just go ahead and write the shell of it. And so when it does come out, I can just go ahead and put it out.
Sometimes. With not so much with verdicts, because if the attorneys found out I do that, they'd accuse me of jinxing it.
Sure.
So they don't like it. But beforehand, indictments, arraignments, and any remarks, yes, I'll do that all in advance.
So crime is an emotional issue. Obviously, there are victims and there are all kinds of side issues and things like that. Is it an emotional issue for you?
Emotions strong. I do have a job to do. We do have a decent amount of major felony and homicide cases. The ones I get emotional about are when we have child fatalities.
Oh my.
Yes. The bureau chief, or like the top attorney in our child abuse bureau here, she's very good. She's very dedicated. One soundbite she always gives the media is child abuse is one of those crimes that's 100% preventable. So those are the rough ones for me, especially as a mother.
Right. Do you, with the Timothy Williams case and the solving of the Jerome murder, do you consider that kind of a success in the realm of fighting crime against children?
In a way, no one, it's hard to ever define something as a success or justice when life is lost, but anytime you can get justice for a family that hopefully never gives up hope, but when it's over 30 years later, how do you not, is definitely success in our use of DNA and working with crime labs to find a case like that, and in order to identify someone after so many years.
I should just mention that the Timothy Williams case was in the solution of the Jerome murder. That dates back, I believe, to 1984. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
So what can I tell you about that? I just learned about this case shortly before they found a suspect. Julie Hahn, who's our bureau chief of Major Felony Bureau, she's had this case for over 10 years.
Wow.
And obviously, it's been pending since 1984. So it's been very near and dear to her heart. Wendy Jerome was a 14-year-old in the city of Rochester. On Thanksgiving Day, she was walking home from a friend's house where she was allegedly raped and murdered by now identified Timothy Williams.
I understand. Thank you very much, because I wanted to get a little background in there before we went on.
Yeah.
And of course, when I talked to you on Friday and we arranged the interview, you said you had breaking news. And I thought maybe for a second I was talking to a reporter, but I was talking to obviously a public information person yourself.
Yeah.
What was the breaking news?
So Friday, after years-long investigation conducted by New York State Board of Elections, assisted with Monroe County District Attorney's Office, we were able to announce that the mayor of the city of Rochester, in addition to a campaign treasurer and a PAC treasurer, were indicted on 2 felony counts of campaign finance violations and 1 fraud count.
And of course, the mayor is Lovely Warren in that case, and she has now been indicted. So, how much lead time did you have with that particular breaking news, or how much lead time do you typically have with breaking news from the district attorney's office?
Usually not much, especially when it comes to a grand jury indictment, because grand jury is a secret proceeding to all civilians, and even myself as a non-attorney, I'm still not allowed to be privy to what goes on in the grand jury. So once the grand jury rose, we knew that was coming, then I was able to alert the media, work on some quick remarks, work on putting everything the media would be interested in that's appropriate and legal to share in a press release. So that was a very busy day.
All right, and in terms of your clients, obviously the public are your external clients, but do you consider the district attorneys and the different attorneys and the assistant district attorneys, do you consider them internal clients?
I would not consider them clients. I work directly for the district attorney, but
Sure.
I consider myself working for all the attorneys as well. We have 80 attorneys in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, and my job is everything they think that the public will want to know, it's my job to get that out there. So in a way, you would think if it was a PR or marketing firm, they would be my clients, but I consider myself as part of this team. I'm a part of the office here, so it's representing the entire office.
All right, well, that brings us to the larger mission. Bluntly speaking, what public good are you doing as a public information or community relations representative?
The most important part is just being transparent, letting the media know things. They don't always share what I share with them with the public if it deems not newsworthy, but at least I'm putting that information out there. From the community relations aspect, we find it important for not just our DA, who's an elected official, but all the DAs who serve the people of Monroe County to be out there, especially in communities where they may not have as much trust in law enforcement. Typically every year I help coordinate an event called Project Tips, which is Project Trust Information, Programs, and Services. And this is for law enforcement, for our office to go out in the highest crime per capita neighborhoods in our city and host community fairs, give them out educational materials, give kids treats that they like, talk about our office, say, listen, we're here to help you. We're not here to hurt your community.
Can you give me an example of when one of those events gave you job satisfaction, or something that the public may have said to you that made you feel like you were doing a great job or you were doing a great good?
To me personally?
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I just find my job very rewarding in general. Even, Friday being able to, not that we never get excited about indictments. That's nothing we get excited about. But was it satisfying being able to come to a conclusion of a pending investigation that's been going on for upwards of years.
Mhm.
Yes, that was satisfying. When I'm out in the community and I see kids interacting with our attorneys and police officers and helping to build trust before something else happens, that's also very rewarding.
What's the public's role in law enforcement? How important are they to law enforcement?
Incredibly important. I mean, the basis, we come jury trials, it's the public who determines the fate of that trial. And on a community relations aspect, especially in the city of Rochester, where we have crimes, where we have homicides, we need the public's cooperation. We really can't conduct our jobs without witnesses.
All right. Do you have anything else to add for this interview?
No, I think we're good.
Calli Marianetti, thank you very, very much.